Hey.
Up over the last few years, so that's not even going down in some areas. So, selling your house, how do you do it? Well, there's a bunch of different ways of doing it. You can list it yourself on the internet. You can have a broker list your house. They basic repair and paint, and the buyers walk through your home. You can't be there because it's spotless. I mean, that goes on and on. Then there's directbuyers.com. They'll buy your house for a fair price and fast, within 10 days or less, to pay you cash. And nobody even walks through your house. Very easy to do. Directbuyers.com. You need to get a $15,000 cash advance before closing, and they'll never lowball you. Go to sell. Visit directbuyers.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? These are real facts about timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Tell, founder of Rabbi Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now to get the timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Tanya, Isabella, Frank. These are the names of everyday Southern Californians doing extraordinary things. Adjusting thermostats, signing up for eco-friendly rebates, using clean electricity in their homes and businesses, all to create a clean energy California. And thanks to programs and rebates from Southern California Edison, we all have the power to ensure a clean energy future. Visit SCE.com/clean energy to learn more.
AM 640.
And long handle.
Good. That's it. That's what I do. Those are my voice letters.
I can do what I want.
I can if I want. And now, Handle on the news. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Bill Handle. And good morning, everybody. Bill Handle here in the morning crowd. Now, Wednesday morning, April 19th. That was our intro promo, and I would put that together. That's part of my voice exercises that I do every morning. Usually at home, but sometimes here when I'm running late, and that is listening to it. Boy, you can tell I carry a tune, right? I don't, not even in a dump truck. I don't carry a tune. But it gets my voice going in the morning. Not lost my voice in almost 2 years, and I used to do it religiously. So, hello to one and all. There's Jennifer.
Hello, good morning, Handle.
Dodger shirt.
Freddie Freeman,
Oh,
number
Freddie.
5.
Okay.
Going to the game today with Tyler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 12-10.
Oh, good for you.
Dodgers met. Scherzer, Syndergaard on the mound. It's going to be a little pitching duel.
Okay, and since our sports station carries the Dodgers, how much were your tickets?
I bought them.
You did?
I had
Are you insane?
I had 2 games this year. I bought into a group that had season tickets.
Do you understand we work in radio? And the philosophy is if you can't either get it free or wholesale, you don't need it.
But I wanted season tickets. And so the only way to get in was to start small. So I bought 2 games.
Wow.
Because that's how
much are tickets per?
So I got 4 season. How do I put it? 4 season tickets. So 1 game plus 2 parking passes. It's $750. I know. And I bought it too. That's it. That's all I could afford for the season.
Yeah, I thought. What happened to Dodger game being the most reasonable entertainment venue out there?
Well, these are, I think, 6 rows behind the dugout. I mean, they're 250 feet.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, they should be. What, you're going to spend $700 for nosebleed section?
And the parking is right there.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Key to going to a Dodgers game are like the people who go to Coachella and actually have somebody build a room for them to stay in, and then go eat a 12-course omakase sushi meal in a private tent. The top shelf all the way. Yeah. There are normal people, I'm sorry, Sid, that sounded bad, but there are normal people who buy much more reasonably priced seats farther away and park farther away, and it's not that big of an expense.
And that's normally me. But I'm trying to get in with these particular tickets. So I had to, it's like you got to spend it.
No, I understand. No, I get it. You can spend your monthly salary and you work here at iHeart. I get it. All right.
I'm drinking free coffee this morning.
Yeah, you got it. Hello, Aaron. Hello. Is Michelle running around someplace? That's retired smoother desk again. Okay, holding trusted hand. So yeah, training hand. So Michelle sort of bailed out earlier. So we're going to see less and less of Michelle. And Tyler, good morning. Hey, Bill, good morning. All right, what do we have going on? The Dominion lost hit, the settlement hit yesterday. And the first thing I did, I turned on CNN, see if they mentioned it. And of course, they were wall-to-wall coverage. Turned on Fox. Didn't exist. Oh, didn't exist.
They didn't do like a headline or anything?
At least I didn't see it. New York Post, owned by Fox, never mentioned. Now, the Wall Street Journal, owned by Fox, that was above the fold. That was a big story. But can you imagine the Wall Street Journal ignoring it? That would destroy the Wall Street Journal single-handedly overnight.
It's kind of one thing.
Yeah. So anyway, I was looking at Fox, and they were doing their normal stuff, fascinating stuff. I'm going to talk more about that a little later on. It's not just the settlement and how big a deal it is. It's the fallout in a couple of positive and negative ways. But let's do it. Handle on the news.
Why are you doing this? Because I want everybody to know what their name means.
Okay, is that settlement $787 million? Actually, it's 787.5, 500,000 on top of that, to avert the defamation trial. Literally, as the trial was starting, there was a delay, and the judge came back and said, "We have a settlement." I'm going to talk more about it. Fox waited until this point to settle. They were nuts. It could be that Dominion just held off and waited for the last second because the numbers were getting bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of the settlement. That's either good lawyering and or Fox being nuts. I would say it's both. Okay, more at 7 o'clock.
And it's not just the Dominion lawsuit that Fox is entangled in. They've got Smartmatic, which is another one of these election technology companies that has a $2.7 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox. And it too accuses the network of implicating the company in the 2020 election, saying that they were part of the bogus portion of it. I think what's interesting about this, I was asking HC's legal analyst Royal Oaks about how the Smartmatic one would compare to the Dominion one, because Smartmatic is actually asking for more, but he said that he felt it would get less.
Oh yeah, it's not as strong. It's not as strong a case. We don't know. We don't know because we don't know what they have on top of what Dominion. Dominion was the argument was against Dominion. That's what they brought out. And there's also one of the producers that's suing. She's arguing she was forced to basically lie during her deposition. And my favorite one is an Australian company, a news company, suing Lachlan Murdoch, CEO of Fox, Rupert Murdoch's son, who said it's the other way around. Oh yeah, Murdoch is suing. Right, I'm sorry. Yeah, I stand corrected. Right, suing them for defamation after it said that he was involved in January 6th Capitol riots in some way. And by the way, one of the allegations, and I think this is probably the strongest allegation that Murdoch has, is simply because they call themselves Crikey News. That'll do it right there. Come on. Where's that for any kind of, I'm going to take a break here, believability, Crikey News. All right, let's take a break. Jennifer Jones leading live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The journalist at the center of the LA police officer's photo controversy is now asking the court to dismiss the city's lawsuit against him. Disneyland's 1,300 security workers are getting a nearly $8 an hour pay raise. And according to LinkedIn, Amazon is the best place to work when you look at things like layoffs, advancement opportunity, and company culture. SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a warmer day ahead. Highs will be in the low to mid-70s. This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. This time we're heading to the 91.
Traffic's going down for the Friday in Long Beach right now on the east side as you make your way at Fort Paramount Boulevard. A couple of cars gone into it. Looks like at least the left lane is hitting right now. We're still going for you heading east on the 91 as you come away from the 710. West on 91. Also, there is a big time for you from the Hill 5 back for the 710 and beyond. A big busy cruising for Alameda. Ongoing issues for you in the 710 southbound and just off the freeway at the line involving a big rig, and that is why you're seeing a rough go for the drive 710 southbound from before the 91 leading along the boulevard, flying from the 110 or the 6 to 5. Have alternates in 710, both are looking pretty decent right now. KFI in the sky helps get there faster. I'm Nick Collier.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux-wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
This report is sponsored by personal injury firm Owen Patterson and Owens.
Why can't you and I shop for a lawyer? We do for everything else.
Our lawyers are not created equal. It's not shopping based on price. It's actually choosing the best lawyer. Experience counts and results matter.
Thanks, OPO. Now we know. 888-OPO-WINS. OPOLaw.com.
A light source system gives you filtered and delicious water straight from every tap. It filters out chlorine, other contaminants, retaining healthy minerals. The light source system is maintenance-free, no filters to change, no salt, no servicing. They install it, you forget it. Own a light source water system for only $75 per month on approval of credit. This ends April 30th. Call 800-803-2696, 800-803-2696. Visit lightsourcewater.com.
And
Everything
96.
you need to travel, from passport photos to luggage. And now get 20% off your in-store purchase when you buy any travel service. Plus, travel size Purell hand sanitizer is just 49 cents. In-store only. Offer at 422. Exclusive supply. Get all set to jet at Staples.
U.S. Bank is ranked #1 in customer satisfaction with retail banking in California by J.D. Power. Since California is home to most reward shows, we prepare to thank you, Steve.
To Californians everywhere, we've been proud to help you plan, budget, and save smarter. Our goal tracking and budgeting tools would have no place decided to work for you, and we can't thank you enough for that. And thank you to our real-life humans who go above and beyond for our customers every day.
For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Member of VIP.
You cannot complain about what
I don't feel like I have really internet
You're
with.
not going to take it upon yourself to help put someone in office that is going to be the best person to bring about active change. We're not giving out to vote. But we want to complain after? No, this is our Southern California. This is Soul Cow Saturday to Walla Shark. Saturday evening at 5 on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. KFI. Handle here on a Wednesday morning, April 19th. We continue more handle on the news with Jennifer Wayne Mead. Well, crime blotter item here from a man's perspective of stabbing an employee at Walmart in Simi Valley, fled the scene before plowing into some pedestrians, killing one, injuring 3 others, and these are all teenagers that this guy hit with his car. 15-year-old boy died. You had a 16-year-old girl, a 14-year-old girl, another 15-year-old boy had to go to the hospital in various conditions. We don't have a lot of detail on their condition at this time, but that's what happened. And the Walmart employee was taken to the hospital for treatment as well. Yeah, isn't there an accusation of them purposely doing it? Plowing into the yeah, possibly. That's what I had heard. Although it's also, but there's also a report that he rolled his vehicle. Right. So we're just getting initial reports, which usually ends up happening. Initial reports at several sites.
In a tentative contract, you had the LA School District and the Teachers Union reach an agreement that gives a 21% up the next 3 years. This is different than the one that they went on strike for a couple of weeks ago. This different group. This is the teacher side. Now, this one includes an added $20,000 salary bump for nurses, $3,000 for school psychologists, psychiatric social workers, attendance counselors, and other service providers. And all of those workers are still represented by CLS.
I have a question. This is for Ann. I get a trending story sheet. I talk about, the stories we're covering, we're trending. I get a sheet. And on one of the statements, it's, was it the average LA teacher salary over $100,000? That's
Yeah, they're talking about the average salary would go to $100,000 annually. Wow.
yeah. I mean, I looked at that figure and I went, oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Now, and I always thought teachers were underpaid. I've been arguing that for years. By the way, $106,000 to me is not overpayment because teachers have a job that is just crazy. But I wouldn't argue underpayment either at $106,000. Okay.
Well, an LAPD officer is suing the department and the chief. This is a hell of a story. We are talking about Tony McBride, an LAPD officer who earned the top shot honor at the academy, who is an avid competitive shooter, and posted videos to her Instagram account of her shooting in the shooting competitions and shooting at the firing range. And everything was fine until she was involved in a shooting on duty, who killing a man who had a box cutter and she shot him 6 times. Now, the police commission said shot 5 and 6 were out of policy, but shots 1 through 4 were fine. Attorney General, Mata cleared her of any criminal liability or anything in the shooting, but she says Chief Moore told her after that, you gotta stop posting these videos of you shooting guns. And she was like, why? Tons of male officers post these videos. I was involved in a shooting. Yes, it was ruled basically a good shooting. What are you doing? He says he started to block her promotion. So now she's suing for more than $5 million a year.
Claiming, of course, as any plaintiff claims, severe emotional damage, hysterics, never being able to sleep again. I mean, just yada, yada, yada. But the allegation she claims in her lawsuit that Moore told her she had to delete her social media account or he would destroy her career. Do you believe that? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like Moore would say that even if he meant it. I mean, right? Yeah, it would be a little more circumspect. Yeah, I think one smarter than that.
The other angle of it is, and I don't know how far a police chief can go in telling specific officers, you've got to get rid of your social media account, honestly, because, and I understand the concern. Here she is on Instagram. I'm not taking the department side, but here she is on Instagram, and it's a lot about, look at me, I shoot well, I'm a great shooter, I love to compete in shooting, and now there's a fairly high profile at the time. She shoots a guy in the line of duty, and she's investigated, and perhaps it looks bad to some people. Oh, look at this woman who loves shooting guns and is trigger happy. Well, even though that may not be true, so but will it turn out that he has the right under certain circumstances? I don't know. Because the other argument on the other side, this is where you and I love to at least discuss it. If he allows male cops to do exactly that and stops her because of the perception. You're right. Does he have it? I would argue he doesn't. If that he's violating policy. The comparison would be to other officers, regardless of their gender, who were involved in high-profile shootings. Were there others for Minnesota to get rid of the case? If that's the case, her lawsuit goes nowhere. I mean, she's done. But if it turns out that he allows other cops to go forward in general, and I think she has a lawsuit.
We're keeping an eye on the Supreme Court is expected to rule sometime before midnight on whether the abortion medication mifepristone should remain available. So you got that federal judge in Texas to overturn the FDA's approval of the drug, and now we're waiting for the Supreme Court's decision on that.
Yeah, I'm scared to death if they back up the notion, the concept that a judge can undo the FDA clearance. The original judge, the lower court judge, Merrick, said that the FDA violated its own policy in clearing mifepristone 20 years ago. But when the FDA clears a drug, what is it for? What is the clearance mean? Efficacy, does it work? And safety. That's it. Those are the two. And to argue it violated its own policy, let's say it did. 20 years ago, 5 million doses is one of the safest, most effective drugs that have ever been cleared by the FDA. That original approval is ridiculous. It's going too old. That claim is time barred. He had no business even entertaining the original approval, but the changes they made in 2016 are still, I guess, on the table for reevaluation. So unless the Supreme Court goes even crazier than it did with Roe, the original approval will stay. It's the expansion, though, that may go away, and the ability to get it through the mail may go away, and the ability to get it between, I think, 7 and 10 weeks may go away. And keep in mind, to that point, is I'll tell you what probably would fail completely as to FDA clearance and policies is the COVID vaccine. They went through that like lightning. And that you could point to that, though, that was clear violation of the old standard. Therefore, the vaccine should be made illegal. Although the original vaccine is gone anyway. But any vaccine, I mean, you don't have the kind of testing they did. It's a whole new round of testing. And the FDA came up with it. And that's without congressional approval. That's just brand new rules. And everybody's left that alone until this goes. Okay, back in court today. Jack Teixeira, the man accused of leaking all those confidential, top secret documents, is going to have a detention hearing. Should he stay in custody? Should he be released? Also, it's listed as a preliminary hearing as well, so we may get a little more information about how the case is going to proceed in some kind of a timeline. Do you think? And also whether it's the question is, does it get transferred from Boston down to the Eastern District of Virginia? Because he leaked the stuff from the Pentagon. So I think the Eastern District in Virginia said we want to prosecute it because the documents that he leaked originated at the Pentagon. Does he get the leaking? I think the leaking occurred up in Massachusetts, so that'll be something they have to work out. Any chance they're going to get a release are far more credibility this way.
Finish dishes.
In the
Clean the
federal
bottles, hot oil, good on fishes.
Jones Lee, live in the Camp High 24-hour newsroom.
Those tax refunds could be smaller this year.
Data shows more than 100 million taxpayers who filed as of April 7th got refunds that were an average of 9.3% less in 2022. The average refund is $2,878, down from $3,175. That's in part due to pandemic programs expiring. The filing deadline for most people was yesterday, so it has been extended until October 16th for 8 states, including California, that were hard hit by severe weather. Governor Mark, KFI News.
News is brought to you by Reborn Cabinet. People who live at Hillside Villa Apartments in Chinatown are protesting what they say is a 300% rent increase. Now they say when LA
That's for the aliens. I got the vaccine. I got
notice to all 124 renters. Protesters marched in front of Mayor Bassett's home last Friday, urging the city to buy the building to stop the rent hike. Bassett's office says it's working on a solution. President Biden
because that place shortstop for kind of too. Like, oh my God, if he's the father, he's got to play her. No. You are the father.
Now, Kevin McCarthy has proposed rolling back spending to fiscal 2022 levels, recouping tens of billions of dollars on unspent COVID-19 funds and putting a 1%
Feel it, man. Really? No.
nonsense spending each year for the
But we got a little show going. What's it called? It's called the Rabbi Rothschild Show with Rabbi Rothschild. Something like that.
A member of K-pop sensation BTS has entered boot camp in South Korea to start his 18-month military service. J-Hope has become the group's second member to join the country's army. The parent company of BTS's management says the 29-year-old singer went into training yesterday. In December, BTS member Jin became the band's first member to enter the army. He revoked his request to delay his confinement.
He has announced plans to make a documentary about Kanye West. Project producer Jack
What up, little girl?
Kanye is from just new light on recent events. Warren Kanye is aware of the documentary, but won't be involved in production or have any creative control. The documentary cancelled social media platforms in 2022 after a series of anti-Semitic posts and the loss of multi-million-dollar endorsement deals. A premiere date for the film will be announced in the coming months.
What up, Benton? Oh, these motherfuckers just betting. Oh, you guys should be like, oh, no. I don't think this guy should be able to have his thing on. Oh, fuck you, dog.
After throwing 7 scoreless innings against the Mets, Kenny Martinez did more than his share there with a couple of home runs. He throws one to right. Way back. That one's got a chance. It's more than a chance. It's a home run. J.D. Martinez, 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats. The Dodgers won that game 5-2. Mets, where's your runs? Any runs? No runs for the Mets. The series wraps up today at noon with Noah Syndergaard. You can hear it in HD live from the Galvin Motors broadcast booth on the iHeartRadio app. Shohei Ohtani again. It incomplete the Yankees 5-2. Game 2 today with Griffin Canning on the mound.